Investing out of state can be tricky. You really need to know what you're doing. You need to have the right team, right connections. You need to know the market and make sure that you fully understand what you're getting into. A lot of people want to go invest in markets outside of their area just because properties are cheap. And you got to remember, if things are cheap, they're cheap for a reason. So if properties are cheap, if the rents that are being generated are cheap, that's difficult properties to manage. Lower income workers deserve and need good housing, but at the same token, they can get in trouble the quickest when the economy turns. So you want to think about those things. If a property is cheap, if the rent is low, a lot of times there's a reason for that, and those can be very tricky properties. I think good affordable housing is a good thing, and I think it's a great thing. But lower income workers are going to be the first ones that are affected by an economic downturn. Then you have your middle income earners that usually get affected second, and then usually your top income earners are affected last and least because they generally are going to have a little bit more savings. So those are the things you want to think about before you automatically start investing out of state, especially for small properties like single family homes or duplexes and triplexes and quads. For the most part, most people that I see asking about investing outside of their area, out of state, are usually in areas that are pretty darn good. And there's a lot of opportunity right there where they are. Might just be a little bit more expensive. So you just got to get creative. You got to get owner financing, you got to raise capital from investors, and just think about things other ways and try to make the deal happen another way if you can. So investing out of state can be good if you're doing larger assets and you can get some scale and it makes a lot of sense. But if you're doing smaller deals, you want to be careful. Make sure you fully understand the area, the team, and what's going on and who's operating and managing and overseeing those assets for you. So that's investing out of state. I don't recommend it for smaller deals. It's probably okay if it's bigger commercial or multifamily. You can get some economies of scale there and leverage property managers that are local, regional, and nationwide for the bigger assets. So be careful, know what you're doing, make sure that you are evaluating everything and you're not doing it just because it's cheap.